Alright guys, welcome back to White or Black. Today's story, it's a very creepy one I had. It was probably back in about 94, 95. This is the exact location where this took place. I've taken a lot of photos to give you a little perspective on how long this walk actually was. Behind me here is the actual dynamite shack where we were at when we experienced this. So I have a bunch of different pictures here to show you perspective, and you guys be the judge. You let me know what you think about this experience, what you think it may have been. But yeah, we're going to give you a little walkthrough showing you the distance we had to cover. I would probably estimate it probably about half a mile with all of these strange occurrences happening. So you be the judge. You let me know what you think we may have encountered. There's a lot of different things to it, so we'll let you be the judge, and share in comments, let us know what happened. I'm still trying to search for answers myself, and that's kind of a lot of the reason I started this channel, was to kind of share these experiences. I think sharing experiences helps others benefit from what actually occurred. So on with the video. I hope you like it. Like I said, share comments, let us know what you think, and enjoy the video.
So it was a late summer evening. Everything felt good. Summer, young love, every card was where it was supposed to be. Being young, feeling love, nothing mattered more than spending time with your significant other. It was such as this story began. Night was perfect temperature, out for a stroll. Nothing more than to escape from other people and spend time with each other. We began a stroll. We left town, being a small town, easy to do, dirt roads everywhere leading to the canyons. It's on this night that we strolled into a canyon and experienced something that we wouldn't forget. So we explored down through this canyon, and we came upon this dynamite shack, and we were far away from people and the noise of town and everything else, and we were exploring the shack, doing things young teenagers do, and spent a fair little portion of time inside this dynamite shack. It was good, cleaned out, just kind of a place to hang out. Nothing much to it. Nothing felt strange, anything to that effect. So when we regained some focus on what time it was and this and that, and maybe how long we'd been there, we decided, all right, it's time to go. And this is where it instantly became odd. We noticed an luminescence outside of the dynamite shack. We walked out of it, and we noticed this small undergrown tree right off the opposite side of the road, and it appeared to be illuminated. So we inspected, and the closer we got to it, the more we realized that it was glowing like a greenish glow. And we looked above to see if the moonlight was there. We pondered it for a few minutes, and the more we looked at it, we thought, okay, there's no moonlight, there's nothing here to reflect anything, and yet it seemed illuminated. I even looked for shards of glass, for any type of light, anything to be creating this illumination, and it almost appeared that it was glowing from the center of this bush, tree. Details was I mean, it was probably back around 1994, 1995. Anyway, it was highly unusual, which kind of struck a nerve, and something said, we need to go. This is not right. So we began our trek moving out of the canyon. We were moving probably a little faster pace because of the unusualness of the situation. Now, granted, this dynamite shack and its proximity back to town is probably half a mile to 3/4 of a mile. It's dark, very dark. As the pictures you can see, the terrain, they were shot during the day. I dimmed them down a little just to give you some perspective of the terrain that we were walking through. Just a weird vibe. There was a mountainside as we slowly walked along that looked illuminated as well. Very strange. But the longer and longer, we took and made this trek and was trying to get back out of there because something did not feel right, the longer and longer this stretch felt. And as we approached probably the last quarter section of this road and was approaching back to town, we both noticed, we started hearing what sounded like footsteps. And we thought, okay, that's unusual. We better check on that and see what it is. And we noticed as we stopped, you could hear the footsteps stop. And it wasn't like an animal on 4 feet. You could distinctly hear the 2 feet. We stopped walking. A few seconds later, you'd hear the footsteps. They'd stop walking. Now, granted, there was enough light that we should have been able to see something even in the dark. It wasn't rustling through the bushes. It was on the road. Couldn't see anything. Thought, okay, that's all strange. Commenced back to walking. Sure enough, we could hear these other footsteps again, and this canyon is not very echoey or anything to that effect to reverberate any noises like that. And we did this probably about 3 or 4 different times, and we'd continually stop, and as we'd stop and be silent, we'd hear the other footsteps continuing, and then they would stop. By the time we were about back to town, where this road goes through a fence and then it drops back down to the asphalt back into town, we were approaching the gate. And on the last instance where we decided to stop and listen to see if these footsteps stopped, and granted, right here in this area, there was illumination from a streetlight from town. The footsteps, they did not stop with ours. They continued, and they were very audibly clear, and they were closer and closer to us. At that point, we hightailed that last little few feet back through this gate, and we closed this gate to separate and create a barrier between whatever it was that was following us, and to have some sort of defense between it. The minute we were past that gate and had closed it, all sounds, those footsteps, stopped. So we're staring back down this road. And like I said, right here, there was illumination from street lamps and everything else. Everything stopped. We saw no movement in the bushes. We saw nothing in the road. But with all the other instances, from the glowing bush, the glowing mountainside, and then being followed, something in the road, it was highly unnerving. It's one of those experiences that has stuck with me for years, and I believe it will always stay there. In fact, through shooting this video, I was up there during the day. I had both of my pistols on me. I had my fixed blade with me. I wasn't taking any chances because, I've seen other things in this area before. Just wildlife. But even still, in this area, it makes me nervous to this day. That's probably a lot of the reason I chose to re-explore this encounter that I had. So, I would appreciate, any feedback you guys may have on the story, any personal experiences. You can leave a comment. I would be more than happy to reply. If you guys like this video, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And until next time, thanks for visiting White or Black. We will see you in the next video.